Welcome to the Exact Digital Podcast, the show where we dive into how digital marketing agencies are using paid media to drive real growth for their clients and for themselves. From planning to ROI and everything in between, we uncover the strategies, stories, and systems that set agencies apart. Each episode, we'll talk with agency leaders who are innovating with paid media, scaling their businesses, and delivering results that matter. Whether you're looking to expand your services or sharpen the edge of your current offerings, you're in the right place. Let's get into it.
Welcome. This is the Exact Digital Podcast, where data meets creativity and we uncover the real forces behind digital growth. Each episode features candid conversations with marketing leaders and innovators who are reshaping the landscape of modern advertising. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome David Denning, co-founder of Jumpstart Go, where their team helps insurance agency owners escape stale marketing habits and build systems that generate consistent growth. With a deep background in digital marketing and a passion for transforming the way agents find leads, David brings real-world experience in helping agencies build the perfect pipeline and scale beyond traditional cold calling and dead leads. Thanks for being on the show today.
Absolutely. Thrilled to be here.
Welcome. Well, first, we had such an interesting conversation last week. You and your wife have such a unique entrepreneurial journey from living abroad to building a digital coaching business. Can you share what inspired that lifestyle and how it shaped the way you run Jumpstart Go today?
Absolutely. And it might be a little cliche, but I'll kind of expand from there. But if I go all the way back, my wife and co-founder Elle, we started dating in high school at 16. So we went to the same high school, math science program, met there, started dating. We got married at 21 in college. I went to Georgia Tech and she went to SCAD. We're both from Atlanta originally. And both of us kind of had our eyes on like corporate tracks. You know, she had a degree in interior design, was working for an architecture firm. And then I was business background mixed with construction side. So project management for an engineering construction company. And that's all we ever thought of. I knew I loved travel. I know I loved living abroad. So picked a program that had to study abroad over in Paris. And then eventually when we got married, I knew the company had a project in South Africa. And that they sent us over for 2 years to live in South Africa. And while we were living there, getting prepared to come back, I knew they didn't like to build a lot of power plants and other stuff in nice places. And I was like, okay, I want to control where we live and kind of our futures that we envisioned. So read the 4-Hour Work Week, which, I think a lot of people may have been inspired off of that book back then and realized, it's really possible to leverage living in different places, running a remote business with the internet, like all this stuff is possible today. And that's when we decided to start our first company when we moved back from South Africa in 2015. We started a marketing company for small businesses, startups, software companies that we ran and kind of created and developed as a lifestyle business. So that's kind of where it started. And then it kind of went a long ways from there.
No, I think that's awesome. So for our listeners who may not be familiar, how would you describe what Jumpstart Go does and what makes your approach different from other marketing solutions in the insurance industry?
I'll start with the second part. What makes us different is we're focused very specifically to a niche, working with insurance agents and agencies, which never in a million years did I think I'd end up in the insurance space. And most people aren't, I want to be an astronaut, a firefighter, or be involved in insurance, right? And so, we eventually found ourselves in this particular niche about 8 years ago and realized it was a really great opportunity to take a very old industry that was very behind when it comes to marketing and technology and really come in and help them put these things in place in an industry that was never going to go anywhere. It was always going to be around, always, huge potential. And that's where we focused to only working with insurance. So we took our skill sets from a lot of different industries and then defined it down to the insurance space and built something really special for that audience. And I would say, yes, what makes us unique too is how hands on we are, our reputation, our results that we've driven for clients over the years. But, I think the biggest thing is we know this industry really well. We're licensed agents ourselves. We sold ourselves. So we bring that along with our other team members' backgrounds to helping agents grow specifically. So I'm a big fan of people really knowing the specific industry they're helping because they're able to take those skill sets and really refine them down to that area. Now, as far as with what we do, we have a few different things. I'd say we're primarily known for our flagship program, the Closers Click, where we help insurance agents and agencies grow and scale through organic social media strategies. So free social media strategies, not paid ads or paid leads on that side, and strategic referral partner strategies. So we help them get away from they call it a smile and dial when you buy a bunch of leads and call them all day and get yelled at. And I call it
Right.
more the frown and drown. So I try to get them away from the frown and drown, and really help them be more profitable, have clients coming to them that know who they are, trust them, and referral partners consistently sending over a lot of business every single month is what we really focus on there. So I'd say that's our specialty, that we've done a done with you program for years with 1,000 different insurance agents, called the Closers Click. And then we have a few other programs we've developed up there, even into running done for you paid ads management, on a branded side there as well. But that's really our core focus.
Yeah, no, that's great. I know you've worked with over 1,000 agents, and what would you say you've seen as the biggest misconception that insurance agents have around marketing themselves?
I'd say the biggest misconception is not approaching it from a personal branding style. So a lot of agents want to come in and treat this like a job. And so
Mhm.
I come in, I sit down, where do I go? What do I do? And no one's really giving them that direction. Unfortunately, a lot of the companies that are even hiring them aren't really guiding them in that area. And they're being taught, hey, buy leads, dial 1,000 times a day, hopefully get one or two that don't cuss you out and have a good conversation with them and hopefully make a sale and then do it again every single day for forever, and then realizing, okay, maybe that's not the best approach. So really approaching it with, hey, if I develop out personal brand, if I'm not a secret agent where no one even knows I'm an agent, if I'm putting things in place where people come to me and they know who I am and they're referring to me, and I develop this whole brand out where I don't have to go find business, it comes to me all day long. That's really the mistake I see, is that they want to just buy attention, but not realizing that attention has no idea who they are and doesn't reward them down the line as well.
Yeah. You mentioned you're done with you. So talk me through a little bit, like, why do you think that hybrid approach of done with you model is so effective compared to traditional consulting or agency work?
And I'll actually even go from the other flip side too,
Yeah.
of like courses, right? Like I have 1,000,001 courses I've probably purchased that sit and, I've been busy. I haven't gone through them. I haven't put them in place. And they could be amazing courses. In fact, they could make a world of difference for my business potentially, but I haven't taken the time and gone through them. Or ones I have gone through, I've gotten stuck, really had a question, not under, that wasn't explained well in that video, or it was just kind of surface level stuff, right? And so I'm I'm nothing wrong with courses. I just feel like a lot more has to be done on the accountability and support level to make sure, one, that they're put in place and then the results are achieved. So I'm not really a huge fan of courses by themselves. Even in like our beginner type stuff we help agents with, there's still like a weekly, support call that we have and a forum where they can ask questions, answers, just because I know that's needed. Because when you're
Right.
learning something new, you're gonna have questions. You're gonna run into things. Plus, the accountability is one of the biggest things. I know agents, and really any entrepreneurs, like having accountability and helping you put these things in place, make sure I get them done and results are delivered from just taking action, which is the biggest piece, is people just not putting things in place when you know that those strategies produce results. And then on the consulting side, nothing wrong. I love the consulting side too. It just, is usually at a much higher price points just because of the amount of time involved, and it is custom to each individual client when it comes to consulting on that side as well. And some clients, and I encourage this as well, want to learn and understand these things themselves, whether they implement internally or just so they can hire the best or eventually bring someone on and train them in the future. So I'm all about empowering the clients to where, yes, we have clients that have like, man, I have everything running amazing. I'll come back to you in the future if I need help building out a certain system or recruiting pipeline or something like that. But we're rocking and rolling. And I'm like, perfect. I've taught them how to do this so they can continue executing versus relying on me every single day, which is ultimately what a lot of agents face if they hire a third party vendor or purchase leads. They're never learning the things themselves. So they're always back at square one.
Gotcha. Yeah. Uh, what are some of the biggest shifts you've seen recently? And how is Jumpstart Go helping agents modernize?
So I think we can probably all industries, not just insurance, can say some of the biggest shifts are happening due to technology, specifically AI, how fast it's progressing, how much is being ingrained into things. There's mistakes being made at the same time as well as lessons learned. I think some of the biggest mistakes are trying to just replace people with AI and use it wherever I can and remove human connections and experience, which in a sales world like insurance, it's very relationship driven. You have to be very careful because that is a key component. And ultimately, people that are trying to completely replace, the agents with the side or agents trying to implement it are really like trying to like almost remove their jobs from them in the future, right? And so, have to realize the value that they're bringing as far as these connections and ascertaining what the clients need and those solutions and the relationship with them. And just how does AI provide more time for them, help them be more efficient in regards to that. So that's something we teach very heavily in the program around the social media strategies, but how do I make it easier, faster for them while still being specific to them, their audience, and highlighting their brand? And that's where we teach not just like generating content with AI, but how to train the AI for the specific types of content and strategies that makes it quicker, faster, and easier for them than them sitting down, maybe if they're not particularly creative on coming up with amazing content that fits into the strategies that they're implementing there. So we've built AI into a lot of processes. We've built into training AI along with leveraging virtual assistants to be able to take 90%
Yeah.
of the workload off of the agent's shoulders. And so we're always looking for ways to make stuff efficient and easier so that the way they can implement it more consistently and get more results from it. So I would say AI is the biggest shift in changes, and those that leverage it are going to win out against those that don't.
Yeah, I mean, and it's such a hot topic
Mhm.
across every industry in marketing right now. I think it's definitely something you have to like figure out how to integrate and iterate your business and make that work. So, you recently started expanding into more paid and branded ad work. Can you talk about that shift and what makes your creative process unique, especially with the challenges of Meta in those special ad categories?
Absolutely. So this is something we've had clients ask us for a long time. And we have background, a lot of experience on the ad side, even for ourselves. But ultimately, we had clients continuously asking us for this. We knew we could do it better than just standard ads that are out there by having them branded to the agents, and really creative ads on that side, which is the type that we even do for ourselves. And viewing it more as gas on top of a fire, especially for underlying organic strategies they've had in place. So we've primarily been taking on clients that have already implemented the organic, and then the ad just being the gas on top of the fire, where they're the local, we call it local legends because we really help them become the legend. Everybody knows who they are, comes to them, referral partners come to them. It doesn't have to just be local, it can be statewide or even nationwide on that capacity, but that's what we're really helping them put in place there. So part of it too is a third partner of ours that works with us, especially on local legends, that has managed about 28 million in ad spend, generate hundreds, thousands of insurance leads, was an agent himself as well. And so really leaning on a lot of experience from him and our copywriter who's developed $7 million, dollar funnel and very, very good at the script writing for the actual ads themselves. So the biggest difference I would say is we take full control of working with the client on the ads, the creative, shooting the ads. We'll have them come down in person to our studio, bring down our film production crew, video editing. We'll shoot, we'll coach them through the shoot. So we make sure they're saying things the right way. You're moving their hands, their expressions, everything will help them feel comfortable because a lot of them haven't done ads like this before. And then, they get to be the stars of their own ads. And then we will do all the editing, we'll optimize the ads, we'll do all this work behind the scenes for the ads that most people think it's a set it, forget it, but it's really not. And with the additional challenges, like you mentioned, that insurance and financial services is now under a special ads category on Facebook where you don't have the same targeting options that other industries have, and then certainly not ones that were removed years ago. So, now for everything you can't target by income and other things, but inside the insurance and the special ads category, the insurance ads fall under, you can't even target by age really, and a lot of things. So you have to be even better with actual script and creative you're creating to make sure it's getting in front of the target audience. And Facebook learns those of who to show it to because you can't do it just on the targeting. So I'd say that's the biggest areas that we're able to help with is we're always on top of the ads. We're always keeping up with changes and updates. We're ahead of the clients on all of this, helping guide them through that and working behind the scenes to help them get the most out of every dollar in ad spend they're putting in. But some side benefits are they get to have their own commercials, their own ads. And so they're showing them to friends at local networking events, spreading them around, who's sharing them too. So there's all this organic reach and almost authority that comes from them having these ads as well, in addition to the actual ads running themselves. So we've gotten really amazing feedback and results through that side. And it's a lot of fun. And it's definitely different than organic, but they go really well together.
Yeah, no, that's great. So, looking ahead, where do you see the biggest growth opportunities for Jumpstart go? And that could be in insurance or real estate, or perhaps there's some new verticals you're looking to expand into.
I would say the biggest opportunity is is twofold. One, we've primarily worked with agents to the agencies within the insurance space, but really made a shift over this year and will continue to do so in 2026, moving into working with either larger agencies, IMO, FMOs in the space, which are large organizations, to even the carriers on that side, and really trying to instill the importance of social media and these different areas we focus on from the top down. On a very old and slow moving industry, having that push and realizing that from the top down, we'll have more of the agents and agencies also putting this in place, knowing they have the support of the organizations or the carriers behind it. So we've built a lot of reputation, a lot of connections, our own podcast on that, to where we've now gotten connected with these larger organizations and carriers where we can now put programs in place from the top down level to really make a huge difference in this industry. Because we do have a mission of helping over 10,000 agents do over 10,000 plus a month of commissions for a $1.2 billion economic impact a year. And so that's one of the faster ways to do it versus individually one by one, like really rolling things out from a top down level. And then the second area would be expanding into synergistic industries. Not only because our methods would absolutely help those industries as well, but if it's really synergistic with insurance, it's a win for both industries all around, referral partners and creations. So that would be areas either like real estate or home services and things that go together really well with insurance space so they can refer back, create content together, grow together. And so that's another area that we're looking at and we've had requests for. We've just kept it very focused to insurance, but would be open to that.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. It's always, interesting where life takes you and growth opportunities. So, if you had one piece of advice for agencies or small businesses trying to modernize their marketing in 2025, but really into next year, what would it be?
The biggest piece of advice would be the personal brand, like having you involved with it. Doesn't mean you have to always be involved with it. I know it might be scary or uncomfortable a little bit if you've never, put yourself out there, but it's really powerful because with the rise of AI and the tech side, the rise of distrust, what's real and human connection, like that all is a factor going forward. So the more that people know who you are, who your brand is, can see the human and actually the connections through that, the more more powerful that's going to be and more important that's going to be over the upcoming years. So leaning into that, leaning into video as a part of that, and in person, if you're in person, very much connecting is going to be really, really key. And then one technical thing that's always a kind of a shift. I won't go into all the reasons why, but one quick thing I will tell them in like Facebook, for example, with organic social is using the personal profile really for combining the personal and the business side. If I break down why the algorithm works the way that it does, it has no incentive to push the business pages content because they want you to ultimately run ads, whereas personal profile has the opposite incentive of how Facebook makes money. So it does want to push those. And there is a huge benefit to combining personal and business together, which is part of what we teach as well. So already off the bat, starting to use personal profiles, businesses,
Yeah,
agency owners will see a difference in the amount of activity and opportunities that come through.
that's great. What a great tip. um, well, where can our listeners find you online, or how can they connect with Jumpstart Go and learn more about your programs and your community?
So one of the easiest things is just to reach out to me directly on Facebook, David Denning. If you reach out to me there, I'm in St. Pete, Florida. You'll see Jumpstart Go on it. It'll be pretty easy to spot me. But I do respond to all my messages there. We live and breathe social media, so we're always on there. I will answer any questions. If you're insurance space at all, insurance agent, agency owner, we run a Facebook group called Marketing for Insurance Agents, and it's about 36,000 insurance agents. Would love to have you check out the community. We got a bunch of free trainings and resources and stuff there as well. And if you're just looking to reach out to connect, can email me at david@jumpstartgonow.com, which jumpstartgonow.com is also our website for any
Awesome.
info there as well.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience, or perhaps I've missed?
Yeah, if they want to check out our podcast, it's called the Modern Insurance Agent Podcast. And while yes, we do have a lot of people from the industry come talk about sales, marketing, a lot of different areas too. We have people from really all industries and entrepreneurs hop on and discuss different topics and growth. Some very, very interesting, unique ones, like an entirely crypto-based life insurance company that started up and everything. So if they want to check that out, I think they'll find lot of helpful info there as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us today, David. And thanks to everyone for tuning in to today's episode brought to you by Exact Digital, your dedicated partner for performance driven media from programmatic display, CTV, paid social, search, and beyond. Let us know how we can help you. Have a great day. Thanks again.
Thanks, Tiffany.
Okay. And